In Japan, since 1992, several Japanese TV stations broadcasted a series of daily news reports on a product called ionized water, also called Kangen water, but they labeled it miracle water. Ionized water, aka Kangen water, is formed by tap water going through an electrolysis process. First, the water is filtered from contaminants. Then it goes through a platinum-plated electrolysis chamber, in which the water is ionized and is divided into two types of water, alkali and acidic. Alkali water is also known as negative water because of the active hydrogen, which acts as an antioxidant. In Japan, many hospitals use ionized water, aka Kangen water, for curing complicated diseases. This patient had a bad case of diabetes and had to have his leg amputated from the knees. However, the doctor experimented with acidic water in which he bathed the leg first. And concurrently the patient drank 1.5 gallons of alkali water a day. The result surprising. He only needed to cut the tip of his toe, and other than that, full recovery. These are pictures of innocent children with very serious skin problems. Also, here are some adults that have suffered with this problem for years. You can tell by the pictures how much they are suffering. Initially, they used Western medication to no avail. Then they tried the Kangen water, aka ionized water. They drank the alkali water first and were treated with the acidic water on their skin. One could see dramatic results within a few weeks of treatment. In Japan, some hospitals use the acidic water to treat bed sores for bedridden patients. The results is better than regular medication. These patients also drink Kangen water and have had a positive effect on their health. In daycare centers, the fortunate kids will have used this water since they were born and will be using this water for generations. Why does Kangen water and acid water have miraculous results? According to Dr. Shirata and many other scientists, oxidization from free radicals have become the cause of the majority of known diseases today. Oxidization occurs when an oxygen molecule has an overabundance of electrons, which then damages cells in the body. However, when active hydrogen combines with the free radical oxygen, then the result is water. The water which helps the detoxifying of the cells. During this process, your body is able to shift from acidic to alkaline.
A doctor who won the Nobel Peace Prize reveals a pH alkaline miracle that can help de-age and energize your body no matter what your current health or age, by ending acid overload and bad body chemistry. Just as acid rain kills forests, acid overload ruins your health. To be healthy, young, and vigorous, you must detoxify your body cells of acid overload by boosting your alkaline level. Doctors confirm it.
This process happens because Kangen water is a negative water. Remember, the negative water contains active hydrogen, which acts as an antioxidant. Also, an alkali body will help with your energy level, reverse sickness, and help with rejuvenation. Scientists proved of the acidic water by the use of the colored laser microscope. This is a view of the active germ cells. But once strong acid water was introduced to the sample, all the germs were suddenly destroyed. Here is a look. Look at the drastic difference between the after and before shot. In Japan, Kangen water is popular in restaurants, hotels, daycare centers, and even hospitals. In restaurants, acid water is used for sterilization and cleaning.
Today we have another report concerning this miracle water. We have followed a diabetes patient who faced the possibility of having to have his leg cut off. He recovered and was able to walk again. We have more from NNN cameraman Matsumoto. Because you took up my story on your TV program, my life was saved. I can make a fresh start, thanks to you. 1.5 months ago, Mr. K. Abe, 56, cut his right toe on a piece of glass. He left the hospital where he was staying and came to Kiowa Hospital in Kobe 2 days before the scheduled operation to amputate his foot. He found this hospital through a TV cameraman. Mr. Abe says, the doctor at the first hospital told me that they had to amputate my foot and the toe on my other foot. If I lost both, I would not be able to work or walk, so I left the hospital. "20 days ago, Mr. Abe entered Kiowa Hospital. The condition of his foot is getting better day by day. At first, the feet were terrible. The color of the cells was dark. Most parts were pussy and smelled terrible. Both feet were infected with gangrene. This is the photo at the time I was first diagnosed, compared to the more healthy left foot. The bone melted and became thin. This was caused by poor blood circulation and diabetes. This was the way it looked. Reportedly, there are 5 million diabetics in Japan. Of those over 40 years old, about 1 out of 10 people suffers from this disease. Early on, you can control your calories and take insulin pills to treat the disease, but when you are seriously ill, you have to take insulin shots to control your blood level. Mr. Abe was labeled a seriously ill patient. To control diabetes, we use insulin, but to control a locally infected part, we use acidic water only. We use no antibiotics. To treat feet, medically developed water with a pH of 2.4 and 1100 millivolts of deoxidized potential is used. This deoxidized electropotential water is very effective to control local infection and granulation, but it is not perfect. So first, we want to control diabetes by dosing with lots of electrolytic resolved water every day. We think effective treatment of gangrene can be achieved through such an improvement in the patient's constitution. They say the treatment of diabetics is possible using electrolytic resolved water or alkaline ion water, both of which are available to be made at home. Mr. Abe drinks 5 liters of water per day following the doctor's directions, and he says he has been improving daily. This water makes me feel light and I'm in good shape. What kind of water is this? I asked the hospital staff to analyze it. Ordinary water is pH 7 and its resolved potential is plus 330 millivolts. An alkaline solution of pure water and caustic soda is pH 8 and its resolved potential is plus 200 millivolts. A miracle water that Mr. Abe is taking is pH 8 and its resolved potential is minus 238 millivolts. Does this water with a different electric potential have a good effect on Mr. Abe? At last, Dr. Kawamura delivered the news that Mr. Abe had been desperately waiting for. Mr. Abe asked, "Is it necessary to cut off my foot? Is it?" "I don't think so. Congratulations, your foot has been saved." "Thank you. Now I think I can work after being released from the hospital, and I'm looking forward to that. My leg would have been cut off if it would have been 2 days later. It might have been hell, but now I will be able to work again after I get out of the hospital." Dr. Hidemitsu Hayashi says, diabetes is believed to be caused by insufficient secretions of insulin from beta cells in the pancreas. In modern medical science, an active enzyme called a free radical is said to be involved in insufficient secretions of insulin. In the human body, there are neutrophils and T cells fighting against viruses or malignant tumors. What is called active oxygen is fighting. After winning in the fight against a cancer, the enzyme, which is called SOD, will decompose residuals. But if there are too many residuals, they stick to anything and damage cell membranes and nuclei because they are poisonous. It is said that diabetes is caused by this. The resolved water obtained by electrolysis extinguishes free radical active oxygen. They are released out of the body, and that is why Mr. Abe's diabetes and gangrene took a turn for the better. I used to take 16 units of insulin, but they reduced it to 10 units now. I used to take 1,200 calories, but now I can eat 1,600. I feel just fine, and as they give me more of this water, I feel better and better. On the 45th day since Mr. Abe was admitted to the hospital, I happened to witness a scene. I doubted what I saw. Mr. Abe once thought about committing suicide because there was no chance he could save his leg, but I saw him leaving the hospital and go shopping with his sandals on. I think I am an exception that I didn't have my leg amputated. Though I suffer from diabetes, I am surprised myself over the recovery. It is really a miracle. I feel like I am having a dream when I walk down the street on my 2 legs. It's almost like floating on air. Water electrolyzed into alkaline and acidic water has proven to be effective in many ways. In our series featuring this so-called miracle water, we look again at how this water is being used in the medical field. Athlete's foot is a nasty fungal disease and a painful condition. It is very difficult to cure. Many people suffer from athlete's foot after wearing shoes for long periods of time. But athlete's foot can be cured just by water. Do you believe that it is just water that is used in this treatment? No, I don't believe it. Do you feel any pain in the affected part? No, I don't. If this cures it, I will tell others about this. This is Kiowa Hospital. At the hospital, athletes' foot, hands, and bed sores are treated only with water. The doctor says that unless there is infection, the troubled part will heal completely. It is necessary just to irrigate and apply a bandage. The treatment of this injury caused by a motorcycle accident was just dipping it in the water for 15 minutes. Do you think the water was actually a disinfectant solution? Yes, I thought it was a disinfectant solution at first, but later I learned that it was just acidic water. How did you feel about that? Well, I doubted it would heal the injury. Don't worry, the water has an excellent sterilizing effect. The electrolysis of water produces alkaline water at the cathode and acidic water at the anode. We are using acid water with a pH value of 2.6. This high acid water kills fungus, mold, and bacteria, though that may seem hard to believe. In this laser color microscope, you can see how the bacteria actually died. The bacteria you see moving here is spirilla, which is similar to the bacteria that causes syphilis. Acid water is poured over it, and it stops moving immediately. Bacteria such as spirilla and many others can only survive in an environment with a pH of between 3 and 4. With strong acid water that has a pH of 2.6, they don't stand a chance. We don't use anesthetics. We only use acid water. That's all. One of the patients allowed us to take pictures of his bed sores and how they healed. It worked right down to the bone. Bed sores, even this bad, are healed by only the water. It works better than any medicine. Electrolyzed acid water works well, especially for bed sores. We visited Akashi Hospital to look at some of the promising results. We only used electrolyzed water for treatment. No ointments, medicine, or other disinfectants were used. There's been no infection now for 2 weeks. The recovery from these bed sores has been very good. It is very surprising. It is amazing. This reporter was told that after the patients drank the electrolyzed drinking water, their feces became odorless. Despite the fact that the patients were wearing paper diapers, there was no fecal odor at all in the sick rooms. The patient recovery rate was, in fact, so rapid that more and more patients are getting around in wheelchairs. Because of the drastic improvements at the hospital, even doctors and nurses are taking the electrolyzed water home and drinking it. Our reporter went back to Kiowa Hospital to find out more advantages of alkaline water. We boil alkaline water to use it for making baby's milk. All the employees here usually drink tea made from boiled alkaline water. I hear you don't catch colds. No, everyone here is fine because they drink alkaline water. In this hospital, a machine from which patients can drink alkaline water was installed 7 years ago. There are people here who claim to have cured their sclerosis of the liver or diabetes, which are very hard to treat with Western medicine, simply by drinking electrolyzed alkaline water. This is Tatsumi Nakanishi, who recovered from sclerosis of the liver. I drank a lot of water as I had a bad liver and it was always burning. My numbers went down and down. I am well now. Shigeru Takahashi, who recovered from diabetes, said, I could not believe the water could cure my diabetes in the beginning. I have been suffering from diabetes for 14 years, but the alkaline water cured me. What happens inside the body? We interviewed a doctor who teaches the effective use of this water on the body. The chief editor of the Water Society, Dr. Hidemitsu Hayashi. You will have clean feces if you drink the alkaline water, which detoxifies or neutralizes toxic substances like hydrogen sulfide and ammonia found in the feces. The toxic substances will start to decrease as you drink the water, and you will have a healthier liver, the organ which has the function of neutralizing toxic substances in the body. All of the organs in the body will start to improve, and you will feel better. Many diseases, including high blood pressure, stomach ulcers, and duodenal ulcers, improve as a result of drinking this water. According to our cameraman, Matsumoto, the patient we saw at the beginning, the one with athlete's foot, was cured in 2 weeks, and the man who had the motorcycle accident was healed in 3 weeks. It is really amazing.